For I know that through your prayers and the help given by the Spirit of Jesus Christ, what has happened to me will turn out for my deliverance. Philippians 2 and verse 19. Demystifying the Holy Spirit. What is Paul saying here? He is saying, and the help given by the Spirit, Holy Spirit of Jesus Christ, what has happened to me will turn out for my deliverance. That one is very profound. He is categorically saying that Paul here was referring to his imprisonment, how he was apprehended and he was put in custody, and at this time he was in prison in Rome, awaiting for judgment by Caesar. And he is saying, what has happened to me, if the Holy Spirit helps, will turn out for my deliverance. And that one is great. There are many people who misfortunes have come their way. Bad things happen to them. But when that happened, that is when they discovered their purpose of life. Imagine, Paul is saying, yes, I have been arrested, I am in prison, but if the Holy Spirit helps, this scenario, this circumstance will turn out for my deliverance. So it will turn out for glory. I don't know what you are going through. I don't know what you are experiencing. But as long as the Holy Spirit is involved, that what you are going through will turn out for your deliverance. There are people, they are in crass core challenges, difficulties, turbulences of life, life confusion, hardships and struggles, despair, a sense of losing hope. But the Paul is saying, how do I turn my imprisonment into deliverance? I bring Holy Spirit to help. So if the Holy Spirit is introduced as a helper, and Jesus himself called him as a helper, it turns out for your deliverance. Can you consider verse 27? Whatever happens, conduct yourselves in a manner worthy of the gospel of Christ. Then, whether I come and see you or only hear about you in my absence, I will know that you stand firm in one spirit, contending as one man for the faith of the gospel. So Paul is in a scenario whereby the ministry is at risk because he is a pastor. He is a pastor. He is a pastor. And the pastor has been imprisoned. And he is in danger of being what? Of being hanged or being executed, of which eventually it did happen. Paul was executed, was martyred. But he is telling them, whatever happens to me, you guys remain in the unity of the Spirit, because the divine help that is brought by the Spirit of Jesus Christ turns situation situations into deliverance. And I can give you a classical example. These guys have been told by Jesus, let us cross over to the other side of the lake, Gennesaret. And when they are on the way, there arose a demon called Squall. That's a kingdom of the air principle, or a prince or principality. And it struck the sea. So it was a kingdom of the air working in cahoot with the marine kingdom to drown the boat and kill Jesus and the disciples all together and close the chapter of the church. But in that turbulence, in that storm, they went and they woke Jesus up. And when he woke up, he said, be still, be calm. And everything was sorted out. And Paul is saying, by the help of the Spirit, capital S, of the Spirit of Jesus Christ, what has happened to me will turn out for my deliverance. So what has happened to you? Have you been divorced? It will turn out for your deliverance. You will come to realize later that that divorce was actually a deliverance in disguise. Maybe what could have happened to you or in that marriage, if you were still in it, it is catastrophic. You have been sacked. You will come to realize that sacking, from a physical perspective, it is an injustice. But maybe later, you will come to realize that sacking was actually divine deliverance by God. The Lord had seen what was coming. And you hear the person who took over from you has been arrested and imprisoned 20 years because of something happened in that office, and he was the one in charge. What? You tell me, God, you allowed me to be sacked so that I don't go through that? Because God knew you will not have the means to overcome that. Maybe the church closed down as a man of God. The church closed down. You are now there. Later on, when God will restore you, that is when you realize, during that time, if you are still in the church, what was happening in the spiritual realm, you could not have been able to handle. So you would have collapsed beyond the remedy. So God allowed you to crash, so that later He may bring the help of the Holy Spirit, and your case that seemed as if was a case of lost hope turns out to your deliverance. How many people we have seen that bad things happened to them, and the people celebrated, only later to realize that bad thing was actually the stepping stone to their great manifestation. May the divine help that comes from the Holy Spirit rest upon each one of us, so that what has happened to us may turn out for our deliverance. May turn out for our deliverance. That you lost somebody that you trusted very much. They betrayed you and you felt a lot of pain. Later on, you come to realize it was God delivering you from harm. How do you receive the Holy Spirit? According to this verse, Paul is saying, for I know that through your prayers and the help given by the Spirit. So the help given by the Spirit is coming upon Paul because they are praying for him. So what does that mean? Intercessors. Intercessors. The Holy Spirit may come upon you if you surround yourself with the people who are praying earnestly for you, who are wrestling in spirit for you, who are praying for you in spirit. Surround yourself with intercessors, and the Holy Spirit will always be